And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final day, Los Grandes Finales, papi, of the LiuLi Cup 2024 Grand Finals Playoffs, day number 5. It's been an intense event here, an entire month of StarCraft, the Max Coliseum into LiuLi Cup as well. But we are here, we are live with the final day. I'm of course just live VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to the, for now, lower bracket final. Here we go. We have the lower bracket final here. Clem, of course, Clement himself is waiting in the grand finals for the winner of this series, of this best of 5. As spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Finnish Zerg player, the red Zerg, the best Zerg player in the world. It is, for Basilisk, Serral. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player representing Storm Gaming from the land of Denmark. It is MaxPax. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time predictions. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat, as this is going to be a best of 5, not a best of 3, not a best of 7, a best of 5 here to determine who will advance on the face-off against Clem. Is it going to be a Zerg? Is it going to be a Protoss? We're here to find out. The balance, papi. 1 Protoss, 1 Zerg, 1 Terran left in the tournament, but only 1 can make it through to face off in those grand finals. Here we go. This is a rematch, by the way. These two players did face off earlier in the event. They did face off previously. Alas, Serral did defeat MaxPax the last time they faced in this tournament, but at the same time, Serral also lost against MaxPax a week ago in Max Coliseum. So they have been going back and forth. They have been going very back and forth, and they had a banger of a game here on Amygdala. I'm getting deja vu already. If you missed out, I recommend the VODs from a couple of days ago where these two played on this map previously in this tournament, and it was a grueling late game. It was like a 35-40 minute game. It's like a 45-minute late game here on Amygdala. Again, Amygdala is a large map. It's known for its late game. The reason for this, long rushes and spike ground. Likewise, very defendable 3, 4, and 5 base setup here. Because of all these rocks in the center of the map, it can make it very awkward as the aggressing player to actually rotate between the bases, commit to an all-in, and break a defending player here. We expect to see a macro game. We expect to see a late game. And the last time they played on this map, MaxPax was dominating. MaxPax was looking very comfortable on Amygdala. If you recall, as we initially start with the links and they make their way towards the pylon, the adept is on the way. But last, before we can really get ahead of ourselves here, it was actually not a hatch gas pool, it was a delayed hatchery. Lings, they rock up and they're going for the pylon, and Serral, he wants to avoid that late game if at all possible. The pylon is going to go down. The boys are being pulled, and how many probes can we kill? Pylon goes down, backs off, going for the second pylon as well. Boys going to be forced away. So far, a good start here by Serral, denies second pylon. And there's already so much damage the entire time here. These probes are not mining. No economy here from MaxPax. Once again, pylon is under threat. Remember, there is no other production. This is all that we have. And we engage the fight. We commit to the fight. 1 probe goes down so far. He gets 1. Maybe 2. Up. Ooh, 2 probes. 2 probe kills and 2 pylons. Not bad. Not a bad start here for Serral. Doesn't end the game. Behind this, Serral, he's droning. He's droning up, getting to link speed, taking his 3rd base as well. Serral, he's macroing out of this. MaxPax is looking to try to stabilize, but again, has lost so much mining time here, and everything has been delayed. Specifically, the Adept Harass, the Adept production here has been delayed. Likewise, Warp Gate as well. Everything was slowed down here in favor of, the aggression. So strong start for Serral. And as we were getting into the last time these two faced off, MaxPax was looking better in the late game. He was outplaying Serral. He was outplaying Serral in the late game. If you remember, it was 2 key moments the last time these two faced off. It was one moment here where MaxPax, he won a fight defensively here in the bottom right hand base. Then he counterattacked. He broke this expansion. And then it kept going. And then the reinforcements of Serral, I think Serral, if I remember correctly, he reinforced with 16 Corruptors. He was able to reset the Sky Tools. He was able to reset the army. And then Serral was able to start coming back from that moment. So again, it was like a pivotal moment in that last game. And then also, MaxPax took a really rough fight here towards the top side as well. Off of those bad fights, Serral, he was able to bounce back, recover, and have a crazy comeback in that game. Here we can see Serral starting off ahead early on thanks to that damage, and again doing everything he can to make sure that when we get into the late game, he's in the best position possible. As 3 drones going to be going down so far, Oracle takes a lot of hits, does get away, does pull back. Meanwhile, Serral going for a big link counterattack, headed towards the 3rd, potentially towards the natural. The wall is solid, and the 3rd base, that Adept, there we go, does pull away. Does pull away in time. Ling's aiming for this round. They're looking for a cancel. Oracle's out of position. Oracle's racing back home. And the expansion is going to be cancelled. Is going to be denied. Massive pickoff. Once again, slowing MaxPax down. Again, all this Ling aggression out of Serral. It's like, mate, I don't want to end up in that lake again. It's like, I don't want to face MaxPax on 6 bases again, Bobby. Not again. Not this time. And time again, he rocks up, forces the activation of the Pulsar Beam. Just trying to get as much as he can out of these Lings. Meanwhile, Overlord into the main, gets a Scout, a Twilight Council, and a Forge, plus on a Blink on the way. Standard follow-up out of MaxPax, but everything here has been delayed from the Protoss. Everything is delayed. Serral breaking out, establishing his 3rd base, now looking to get a 4th hatchery on the way. As the Oracles can finally move out. Getting a couple of Lings. Likewise, Serral getting a safety Roach Warren. I don't know if he really intends to invest into Roaches, but just in case this was Glaive Adepts instead of Blink, just in case there was something more aggressive like even Charge Lots, then Serral, he would be ready. Would be ready with that Roach Warren. Knocking down those rocks. MaxPax trying to gain some value here. Second Oracle comes in towards the 3rd. Is zoned back. Lair's finishing up. And from here, I would imagine we're going to be working towards Hydra Tech here from Serral. Into Ling Hydra. Into eventually Lurker Tech. Assuming Serral doesn't go for a 3-base all-in. But he's taking all of his gases. And is making some safety Roaches here. Interesting. Oh, I was curious. I was waiting for the upgrades. Again, the Seaver Chamber delayed upgrades here out of Serral, and we are instead going for a very fast Spire. Interesting. Bold move, bold move. So Spire Tech and Muta switches like this can hit very hard. If they get scouted, they can fall in their face. If MaxPax is able to get a read on what's going on, then he can just completely shut this down, getting to his own site defense, shield batteries, cannons, Storm, Phoenix production. But it's all about whether or not he realizes what's going on. But now MaxPax poking in. So, of course, he has to commit into Roaches, otherwise he will just topple over and die. Can't just back up for Mutas. MaxPax behind this, working with the splash damage, not getting into Colossus, getting into Storm instead. Oh! Stasis gets baited. There's still 1 Stasis left. Doesn't look like Serral has noticed. Not yet. Seems they move out. They set up the surround. They do catch 2 of these Stalkers. Not bad. Blink isn't. Oh, Blink just finishing up, but the last 2 Stalkers go down. Nice pickups. A very nice catch here from Serral. Oh. Stasis does catch at the Queens. MaxPax moving in. Likewise, Serral. Ooh, once again does spot the Stasis. Just barely spots one of them. The other does connect. MaxPax maintaining himself, but it's all just been about buying time. Serral, he's bought enough time here for Mutas. 9 Mutas now on the way, and so far unscouted. And MaxPax is not quite ready for this. Once again being forced back. Back at home, there's nothing in the natural. There's a 1 shield battery here at the 3rd base. Nothing in the main. And Serral, he can wreak havoc. And still rotate. Taking over the Zonaka, make sure it doesn't get scouted. The dip goes down. There are cannons on the way at the 3rd base at least. But again, Serral, he knows how vulnerable the other bases are. And Mutas are making their way in. And they got unfortunately from MaxPax the entire time. The Oracles, they were back at home. They were throwing down stasis traps. They weren't scouting. They weren't harassing. No hallucination scouts either. Yeah, just nothing out of MaxPax. Mutas, they arrive, and probes are going down. Clutch recall. Does recall immediately. With that, only 4 probes falling. Main army pushing in towards the 4th base. Storm is done. Got big connections. Oh my god. Stasis actually saves those Lings. Does save them. Mutas, they come in. They collapse on the High Templar. Massive pickups. High Templar going to be going down. The Archons as well. And with that, Serral, he's breaking through. He should deny the 4th base. Now pulling back. We have 38 more Lings on the way. Catching up some of these Stalkers. Oh, rotating back over. Mutas are deflected. Nice positioning here from MaxPax. This Nexus is going to go down. And without any splash damage, MaxPax, he's in a bit of trouble here. Serral, he's going for the dive, coming in for the surround. Ooh, catching out the Stalkers. And these are just expensive losses here from MaxPax. Losses he cannot afford. 13 probe kills as well. Mutas are coming back in. At the same time, MaxPax, he's distracted. Getting up to 16 probes. Bailey's going to be on the way. Did I say 16? 22. 22 workers. Oh no, transfers a little bit too early. More probes getting caught out. Yeah, and Serral is just pulling. Oh no, the Hydras. The High Templar. Getting pulled apart here. Ay. Bailey's now morphing in. And MaxPax, he just can barely keep up. Forces with another storms. High Templar go down. They do clean up the mutas at least. MaxPax he's holding, but Serral has everything else. He has all these other bases. He has a 5th base. He has a gold on the way as well. He can rebuild. He can remax. And move in once again. And really, all that Serral has to do, he doesn't have to break the natural, doesn't have to break the 3rd, or only the 4th. Only deny the 4th base over and over and over again. That's all he needs to do. Bailings, they roll into the mineral line. Clutch force field. Despite that, no. Despite that, Bailings, they roll in regardless. 17 probes going down. Ay. Not like this. Force field was not good enough. And once again, deny the 4th. Again, that's all we have to do. That's all Serral has to do. Deny the 4th base. MaxPax, can he hold on? Nice storms. Very nice storms. Shuts down most of the Bailings. High Templar forces more for the Archons. Speaking of, Archon's going to be going down. At the same time, there was an attempted to run by, but it was dealt with. Plenty at home to defend. And Serral, thankfully, is taking up. What I mean by that, Greater Spire. Greater Spire's on the way. Taking towards Broodlords. We've seen this. Oh no! As the prison goes down as well. I was about to say, we've seen this position before in King's Cove between Raynor and MaxPax, where Raynor, he was denying the 4th base. I think he denied it like 4 different times, and MaxPax was building up this kind of army, and Raynor, he did not tech. He was stuck on Ling Bane Hydra. He did not tech into Lurkers, did not tech into Hive. He was stuck on Lair tech. Raynor was overconfident, and he fell because of it. Here, Serral is taking. Ooh. Storm's going up. High Templar still go down. Still worth it for Serral. Still containing. So MaxPax does move out. And at this point, MaxPax is pretty all in here. He has to do some critical damage, either breaking into a mineral line. Bare minimum, of course, getting his 4th base up and running. Serral trying to catch up some High Templar, and he will. Ooh, gets us around. Very nice pick up out of Serral. Takes down 1 High Templar. Going for the other. He wants it. Up. And he gets it as well. 2 High Templar. Serral threatening a dive. Corruptors are on the way. And those are for the Broodlords. And there's no answer. There's no answer for the Broodlords. Technically, of course, these Stalkers, they can blink under the Broodlords, but we're expecting the Broodlords to have support here in the form of Lingbane or a Ravager. In this kind of position, ideally, the Protoss would have Skytoss, but MaxPax can't afford Skytoss as he never got a 4th. He never got a 4th base, never got it saturated, never had a proper economy. We'll take down the base, though. Expansion's going to go down. Serral coming in. Stasis Trap goes off. Once again, saves the Bailings. For now, at least. 5 Broodlords out on the way. Expansion does go down. At the same time, Celeron right here does hit, the Queens. The Queens, they hold their own. Serral's diving in. Collapsing in the army, forcing out the storms. Bailings, they break out of the stasis. There's no storms left. And we're not even bringing the Broodlords into play here. The main army gets shut down. And here come the Broods. They get spotted. They get spotted here by the Observer. Now MaxPax knows. I believe only 5. Yeah, only 5 Broodlords, so not too many. But yeah, GG gets called. Ready to get that final fight. And again, the writing was on the wall there. Once the Broodlords arrived, there was just no answer, and Serral will take a lead in the series. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Just a very aggressive style here out of Serral. It started off with the early spawning pool, if you recall, early pool into early Link Flood, which also killed the third base, or I should say cancelled the third base. Just hyper aggression out of Serral right out the gate, delaying and disrupting the build of MaxPax time and time again, which of course allowed him to take into the mutas the way that he did. And unfortunately, MaxPax was still in recovery mode, trying to catch up, trying to apply pressure, wasn't really too concerned with scouting, and he was caught off guard. Was caught off guard in the end, was pulled apart. GG. GG, well played. Serral takes a lead. And again, a very different approach this time on Amygdala. As a reminder, winding it back, we kind of brought it up previously, but again, if you missed it, I do recommend the VODs. This is a rematch, and the first time they played on Amygdala, a couple of days ago, in a best of 5, we saw MaxPax just have his way with Serral in the late game. Here, we never got there. Or, I should say, Serral now never allowed MaxPax to get to the late game. Never allowed it. Did it cripple him well ahead of time to make sure that MaxPax could not reach his final form. And from here, we are getting ready for game number 2. And we'll see if MaxPax can bounce back. Personally, I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping for a game 4, a game 5. I want to see back and forth between these two players. We have seen MaxPax defeat Serral already. Again, we spoke about it before. Massive Coliseum last week. He has brought him down. He has shown late game prowess to be even greater than that of Serral, but that's only if he can get there. I do feel like this is going to be very map dependent. Certain maps, they're more favorable towards aggressive play. Certain maps more favorable towards defensive play as well. I'm not privy to the vetoes, so I'm not entirely certain as to what we're going to be seeing here, but we'll see. We'll find out together. Find out together here. Oh, as it looks like we do have our lobby. We have our game. Okay, here we go. We are going to be getting into game number 2 here. It's going to be on Ley Lines. Okay, Ley Lines going to be a smaller map compared to Amygdala. True, it is going to be a smaller map. It's going to be, I would say, it's relatively defendable bases in the center. I mean, it's one of the more middle-of-the-road maps. It's not as exposed as Whispers of Gold, for example. It's not as large or defendable as Abyssal Reef or Neon Violet Square. It's not on either extreme. And we'll see how MaxPax changes his approach here. Fun fact, we did see MaxPax overwhelm and have fun with Glaive Adepts. I mean, both MaxPax and Hero in recent times have defeated Serral with Glaive Adepts. That is true. It's definitely a good thing to sprinkle into a series every now and then. Where do we want to rely upon it? On it, though. Like, again, you don't want to rely on it too heavily in a series. Maybe once in a best of 5. Maybe twice in a best of 7. I think Hero did it twice in his best of 9. True. And he won with it twice. True. Not wrong. That's it. Oh, the queens. I mean, there were like 8 queens in position, mate. They were good to go. Serral, he was ready. We go. As we're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss, sorry, red Zerg for representing Basilisk from Land of Finland, leading the series 1-0. It is Serral. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Storm Gaming from Denmark. It is MaxPax. Here we go. And we have a problem. This is not the first time that I've accidentally brought up these stats before. Oh god. How do I get rid of them? I know it's... Oh no. Oh no. Not like this. Well, we'll have them for now. I'm gonna quickly reach out. Okay, if anyone knows, let us know. Ulta 4, a Kappa. Okay, this has happened before, and I remember it was like a relatively easy fix. Regardless, I guess we'll deal with this for the first game. And here we go. We're going to be loading his ley lines. For the time being, going to be hatch gas pool. Last game, we had an earlier pool timing here from Serral. Not this time. There it is. Phew. D. Okay, shift D. Okay. Fun fact. So I was just randomly like pressing buttons to figure out what it was. Apparently we have it pinned in our like live feed chat. There you go. We've had this issue before. But I don't know. Shift D. What is this for? We'll never see it again. We never use this. It's fine. We're settling in so far. Hatch gas pool opener out of Serral. Meanwhile, MaxPax across the map are going for his own gate expand into Cybercore, into Stargate. This time, MaxPax is left alone. This time, MaxPax, he is free to just delve into his own build, to settle on in, and not to be too bothered here. Not this time. Adept does move out across the map. This time, of course, MaxPax did probe scout, making sure he kept tabs on Serral. And now MaxPax is going to be a lot more comfortable getting into the mid-game here. At least he should be. Two Lings, they slip in, they get some scouting information, nothing too major. Dipping away. Likewise, Serral pulling out of gas, just getting into Ling speed. No major commitment, no major aggression. Just droning and settling in. It's going to be up to Serral to keep up with the aggression of MaxPax instead, with the Adepts, with the Oracles as well. As both Adepts are on the map and the Oracle is on the way. It's going to be an Oracle opener, not a Void Ray, so standard play here out of MaxPax. Standard play so far. And I don't really expect MaxPax to deviate too much here coming into game 2. I mean, we have seen him adapt to Serral before, that is true, but might be too early for that. Now Serral's going to be forced back. Second Oracle's on the way. If you recall, last time this expansion was denied by the Ling Flood of Serral. That is not happening this time. As Serral is focusing on just purely droning, not making Lings. Just droning up. Stays denied mining. A larva goes down. So far, Serral is keeping up. Ooh, Adepts they committed to the main. They get one drone. They get one, they get two, they get three, 4 drones so far. Serral late reaction pulling away. Losing up to 5 workers. Yeah, brutal damage here for Serral. 5 drones go down. Oracle dives back in. Oh, getting one more drone. Once again, Queen's out of position. Ooh, almost getting another. Almost. As MaxPax this time does find himself a 6, soon to be 7 drone kills. 8 drones. 9. Oh my god. 9 drones. Very nice damage. And with that, MaxPax does find himself with the lead. If you recall last game, I want to say he got 1, maybe 2 drone kills at most. Barely anything. Thanks to the Ling aggression of Serral. MaxPax just couldn't really be aggressive. Couldn't really be active. This time, different story. This time, 9 drones. Both Oracles survive. Back at home, the third base is safe and sound. And now MaxPax can get into his own build, into his own game. Following this is going to be a Twilight Council on a Forge, so standard follow-up here, plus on a Blink, I would imagine. Can also go into Charge, is an option. But Blink is on the way. And Serral, he's going to plus on melee here, no Roach Ward. Last game we had a safety Roach Ward and we actually committed into Ling Roach to get into Spire Tech. This time no Roaches whatsoever. It's going to be plus on melee into Ling Hydra. No mutas this time. As if they get 1 drone so far. Oh, they get 2. 2 drones going down. Nice damage once again. Shading into the main, getting a 3rd drone, getting a 4th. Oh, almost a 4th. Whew. Barely not. Likewise, MaxPax also got his full scout. What did he see? He saw no Roach Warren. Saw the lack of tech. No Roach Warren here at the natural. He saw the Eva Chamber in the main, so he should be fully aware of the Ling Hydra as well. Technically, this could also just be pure Ling into Infestation Pit, into Hive, which would be crazy. But we have seen players embrace that before. Gases are on the way. Lings are massing outside of the third. 18 more Lings in production. That's a lot of Lings. And Serral, he might actually decide to do what we mentioned and just skip the Hydroden. But now diving into the third base. Takes down the shield battery. Takes down the Adept. Main army's out of position. Ooh, but doesn't get the probes. Yeah, the probes do survive. Serral has to fall back. Back at home, did lose a queen. Okay, there it is. There's the Hydroden. If we had gone on any further with the Hydroden, I would have assumed that we would have gone into an Infestation Pit, into Hive. But it's going to be Ling Hydra. It's going to be Ling Bane Hydra here out of Serral. Bailing run by on the way. Stalkers, they almost get another queen. Ooh, they barely do. Another queen goes down. Stays trapped. Ooh, they do connect. Oh, some brutal connections. Yeah, Serral's going to be forced back at the same time. Bailey's waddling in, but there's no speed. Yeah, no speed. Max actually does respond in time. He defends. And he attacks. Serral, he is in trouble here. He is slowly losing control of this base. Losing control of the fourth. Tries to come in from behind. Stasis is baited out. Good setup. And good defense. Takes down the Stalkers. Forces them back. They're stuck on creep. And MaxPax is getting punished. Stalkers are going to be going down. Serral just chasing him down. Remember, Blink's on cooldown. Oh my god. Barely blinking up. Barely escaping. But at what cost? 8 Stalkers. 9 Stalkers even. 9 Stalkers going down. MaxPax now taking a 4th. Serral taking up. And does save the 4th base. That's what's important. He saves the 4th expansion. 5th hatchery now on the way for Serral, getting saturated. Now it can join up to 80 and start taking up towards Lurker Tech. There it is, Infestation Pit. So we're gearing up towards Lurkers. Until then, we'll see if Serral can keep up. If he can buy time. Again, because this map is so much smaller, it means that these pushes, they hit so much harder here from MaxPax. Doesn't take long to reinforce. As his base is, again, at the halfway mark of the map. So ready for a run by, runs into Zealots. Banelings, they trade well. Zealots get shut down. Serral trying to hit that mineral line. And will be able to. It barely does. 6 probes going down, does pull away. MaxPax holds. Acceptable losses. Does hold, does defend. Hive is now in production, and we should soon be seeing that Lurker Den. Ideally, you want the Hive lined up with the Lurker Den to rush into those upgrades as quickly as possible. Now Serral's still droning. Getting up to 78. And there is that Lurker Den. Now, there is going to be a window here. There is a window in time where Serral is very vulnerable. He's very vulnerable to Storm. As Lurker Den just started, Lurkers they're not ready yet. So MaxPax, he could try to break this 4th base before that tech is prepared. Speaking of, oh, almost got surrounded. Nice Storm. Storm's going to be going up, shutting down the Hydras and the Ling Pain. Oof. Yeah, the Storms are brutal. MaxPax, he can try to keep pushing. Let's go with 2 more Storms. Going for a counterattack at the same time. Does have a secondary army. Likewise, again, Lurkers are still not ready. Lurker Den is still on the way. So trying to hold on. Ooh, baits out a Storm. Trying to bait out the Storms. Likewise, run by on the right-hand side. Storm is available here as well. Ooh, Storm doesn't quite connect. Despite that, it looks like we may just have enough. Yeah, Storms, they pop up, they shut down the Ling Bane. And there's not really much here. There's 2 Hydras. MaxPax, he can't keep pushing. GG gets called. Yes, Serral is broken. And MaxPax will take game number 2 and tie things up. Whew. GG. GG, well played, Serral. He just needed a little bit more time for those lurkers. Without them, he was just being torn apart. The storms were brutal. And again, he was just having a really hard time splitting up his army and defending both locations at once. GG. Was torn apart, and MaxPax fights back. Again, this is one of the big benefits of ley lines, of this smaller map, of course. It's just how aggressive you can be. And Serral could not keep up. Likewise, couldn't really slow MaxPax down either. You could also see the stark difference here. Like, you can see at MaxPax where he's allowed to get his third base, allowed to get his fourth base, allowed to get fully saturated, and actually, you know, have control of his side of the map. A very different kind of momentum, very different kind of outcome here, of course. Very different dynamic. That's what I was going for. And with that, GG, we have a series. We have a back and forth. Question becomes, map 2, where are we dropping? Where are we headed? As I would imagine some of the more extreme maps are vetoed, especially in best of 5. I imagine we would be seeing maps like Whispers of Gold or Neon Violet Square. I imagine those are vetoed. I'm on the fence about Frostline. I'm not certain if they would let that through. I mean, we'll find out. We'll never apply for the job as an adept. It's very stressful, very stressful. It's a one-way trip as well. Oh, no. Ooh, and we have our map for game number 3. We're going to be loading into El Dorado. Here we go. Loading into El Dorado. And again, in that last game, like MaxPax, he was on that timer, as we were mentioning. He did have that window where he could where he could break and he could kill Serral before lurkers are ready, and was able to do so just in time. Just before that lurker tech. As that's when Serral, he was at his most vulnerable. His army was very fragile. And El Dorado is going to be an interesting one. I mean, again, I'm still not entirely certain what to expect out of El Dorado. At times we see more aggressive games, at other times we see more tech-heavy games as well. A lot of it is kind of determined depending on how our players expand, whether they expand towards each other or not. Can kind of open up certain styles or stop them. We'll see. We'll find out. Hey, you bought me plane tickets for this war trick, but they say one way. What's going on? You're not coming back from this one. Oh, no. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of El Dorado, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. Tying up the series 1-1, it is MaxPax. Momentum is on his side, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player representing Basilisk. Being forced into a tied series, we'll see if we can bring it back. It is Serral. Ooh. Hello. Going for another pool first. Interesting. So pool first opener once again here out of Serral. If you recall, it did do this in game 1 on Amygdala. Alas, MaxPax does probe scout. And Serral, he does hide his drone on the right-hand side. Ideally, the Overlord will let him know whether he can dive in. Yeah, the drone can head in to expand. We'll take the natural. Oh, there we go. Whew. Just in time. Natural base is taken. Spawning pool's finishing up. The probe will confirm. And we can also see here that Serral, he's not banking up larva. Looks like he can maybe make a pair of lings, but doesn't look like he's going to commit too hard to this. Yeah, speaking of, spawning pool is done. No lings. Is he crazy enough to go... Okay, I was going to say, is he crazy enough to go gasless? But no, he's going for his gas, so it's going to be a pool hatch gas opener here out of Serral. Interesting build of choice. As he will be afforded earlier queens. And there's earlier 2 lings. behind this, MaxPax opening up as well. And welcome one and all to El Dorado. El Dorado, of course, is one of the more unorthodox maps in the map pool. There are these mineral walls that can be broken down or mined through to gain access towards the southern half of the map. If you do expand towards the south, you do reduce time. You reduce the time it takes to get across the map to get to your opponent's bases. The time is reduced, and we have access to gold bases as well. We have the center gold base. We have the likewise more centralized bases as well. There are 3 gold bases in total, can be taken. They can give you a boosted economy. Likewise, short rush distance by air. But if our players expand away from each other, then suddenly you can try to take advantage of that and try to go for something more tech-heavy like Swarm Hosts and Locust Waves and Nidus Swarms, of course. You can head into Sky Toss as well and try to rush into a Fleet Beacon. You can head in different directions. Now that we're calming down. Third base is on the way. Gonna be a Void Ray opener. Okay, you have my attention. Void Ray on the way for MaxPax. Dips in with those 2 adepts. Doesn't quite commit. Oh. Yeah, heading towards the gold. Alas, 1 second too late. The base has already been taken. But at least MaxPax is now aware. Takes down the tumor. And can now threaten the mineral line. As Serral does expand towards his opponent, and MaxPax expands away. While the Overlord goes down. Now, with the power of the Void Ray opener, of course, is that MaxPax can deny vision, he can deny scouting, he can keep Serral in the dark, and make sure that Serral is unaware of what's going on. Behind this, we can hide tech, or we can just play standard. The point is that Serral doesn't know. Void Ray has arrived, catching out another Overlord. At the same time, Serral does hit the third base. Ooh, and is there an Oracle back at home? There is. There's an Oracle, thankfully. MaxPax, he should be able to defend. Yeah, forces back the Lings. Across the map, gets 1 Overlord. Depth Satiate in, getting 3 drones. Not bad. Ooh, 3 drone kills. It's a lot of damage. Especially this early on. And MaxPax, Stargate opener into Robo. Into a delayed Twilight Council. Into a faster Warp Prism. Interesting. We are going for what looks to be an Archon drop. Again, MaxPax has been very fond of mixing this in. As Lings, they do hit the Pylon. Pylon does go down. Nice pickup. But again, we should be seeing a Warp Prism out of this Robo. Likewise, Twilight Council into a Templar Archives. Into High Templar, Archons, and then into Charge. And later, delayed +1 with a delayed Forge. So this has been a trendy build amongst the European Protosses. Been quite trendy. As the Twilight Council is now done, and there's that Temple Archives. Again, that Prism is on the way. The way this is lined up is by the time the Warp Prism gets across the map, the Temple Archives is done, and that means that you could warp in the High Templar ready for you on the front lines and morph them into Archons. So it's all lined up for that Archon drop. Likewise, Serral does hit the natural. Does spot the Warp Prism, that's a big tell. And despite not having Overlord Scouts, he should be somewhat aware of what's going on. There we go, safety roaches are on the way. Roach production has begun. Temple Archives has completed. And here come those Archons. They are on the way. And the goal of these Archons, of course, is to hunt down Overlords, shut down Creep Tumors, catch some Queens, trade against Lings, potentially get some economic damage. More importantly, gain map control. And just keep Serral busy. Diving on the Roaches, getting 1. 1 Roach goes down. Serral going for a Ling counterattack. Back at home, MaxPax building up more Immortals. And now taking it to Storm. And this can get out of hand real fast and real quick. You can see a second Robo on the way, so he's going into double Immortal production. So mass Immortal Archon. Meanwhile, we spoke about it earlier about Nidus Swarm Host. No Nidus, but there are Swarm Hosts. Let's go. Now again, Swarm Hosts are a lot more common on El Dorado. The reason for this, especially if a player doesn't take this expansion, as you can see here, is you have a direct path to the main. You can just set up your Swarm Hosts here and just send your local slaves into the main base. Because MaxPax doesn't have this expansion, he's kind of vulnerable here towards his main base. There's going to be 10 Swarm Hosts for Serral. And because our Serral's expanding, he doesn't actually need a Nidus Worm. I mean, it would still help, don't get me wrong. Would still help. But the Swarm Hosts are amassing. And they're pushing their way in. They're making their way towards the main. They can go straight for the Nexus or try to go for some tech. Alas, MaxPax, he has no idea. He did not scout. He's not aware what's going on. You see the Queens referring the army. Speaking of Void Ray does come in. He scouts, he knows. Does spot the Locust Wave. Does spot ahead of time. The army does respond. And with that, this first Locust Wave, what can we get done here? Catching a couple of Zealots. And not much more than that. Oh, getting a pylon. Okay, not bad. Couple of Zealots on a pylon. But that pales in comparison to the base, right? The Nexus could have gone down, alas. MaxPax is still coming ahead of time. Shuts down the roaches. Serral does force a cancel. Denies the 5th. But so far this Locust Wave has been lackluster. It's killed Zealot and a pylon, that's it. Queen's getting caught out as well. Brutal pickups. First Queen goes down. MaxPax, she's defending well. Locust Wave once again trading with Zealots. And doesn't get anything else. These Swarm Hosts have yet to pay for themselves. At least they're keeping MaxPax pinned back home, but he's building up a death bull of an army. And the reality is here, even though Serral is taking towards lurkers, even if he does, like right now he's vulnerable, and even if he does get lurkers, like a small line of lurkers, even a larger line of lurkers just crumbles before this kind of army. Look how many immortals there are. That's crazy. How many? 8, 9, soon to be 10, soon to be 10 immortals. And we're building up that kind of A-move army that can just break through anything, at least it's based on the ground. So he has to buy time. He has to buy as much time as possible. Roach is a counterattack. Swarm Host in towards the natural. And they're still not getting much done. Storm's going up. High Templar gets away. Ling Roach will deny the 4th. Not bad. 4th base is cancelled. This is slowing down the production of MaxPax. But I think he's had enough. Yeah, he's had enough. He's pushing. We have 6 lurkers on the way. They're going to be lair tech lurkers. And I'm not sure if that will be enough. We'll see. Is there a war prism? There is a prism. So far harassing. Ooh, the prism is not with the main army. So we cannot reinforce on the front lines. Likewise, they cannot juggle these units. Lurkers, they set up on the high ground. Best case scenario here for Serral. He has the high ground, he has the concave. The Immortals, they get 1 lurker so far. They got 1 lurker, they shut down the Roach Warren. Yeah, this is a brutal choke point. MaxPax can rotate and bring down the base. But MaxPax, he hasn't scattered, he doesn't know. He doesn't know the hatchery's been taken. So far pulling back. Gaining ground on the right and towards the south. Blasting into the mineral line. MaxPax, he rotates. Yeah, Roach is getting caught out. Serral is having a hard time trading here. Locust Wave pops off. Collapses on the Archon. Takes out 1. 1 Archon goes down. And half an Immortal. Oh, and there's just not that much support for these lurkers. It's a revelation. Lurkers that do spread. Okay, building more Hydras. Sky Toss on the way. There's that Fleet Beacon. And Serral is buying time here for those reinforcements. The base is going to go down. Meanwhile, Warp Prism into the main. Warp in will complete. Zelsa can trade well. Clutch Transfuse saving the queen. Prism should go down. Finally cleaned up. MaxPax threatening to move in. How many lurkers this time? Up to 12. Soon to be 14. 14 lurkers. So he holds the line. And he has gone away with his base. We have a wall of static defense on the way. Again, MaxPax is unaware, but he's rotating. And with this rotation, he should be able to deny these bases. I say that static defense is going to buy a lot of time. Likewise, Locust comes in, takes down the fourth. Not bad. Fourth base goes down. And what's important here, one, yes, MaxPax has a large and terrifying army, but he has no economy here. And this means that he cannot sustain any losses. As MaxPax bleeds out some of these lurkers, he can't replace them. Immortals, I meant to say. As he bleeds out Immortals. He'll have a hard time replacing them. Has to be so careful. Celsius shuts down the Nidus. MaxPax rotating in. He needs that fourth base. As now he's aware. Here's where the base is. Does deny the fifth. So he does notice the lurker, the Nidus worm. I believe he's aware. Oh. Very nice stasis. Stasis pops up. Nidus does complete. But Tempest are building up. And not gonna lie, I'm very impressed by what MaxPax has been able to do on 3 bases. This is all on 3 base economy, which is crazy. I mean, he's running out of money. Is running out. But his army is just so efficient. As he's running out of patches here at his third. We see Serral going for a big counterattack. Once again, going for the fourth. And we might just go for a base trade. Yeah, we commit. Serral hits the fourth base at the same time, and MaxPax going for the third. And pushing towards the fourth at the same time. Running into lurkers. Has to pull away. Hatchery's gonna go down. Big storm here on the Hydras. Oof. Only 2 storms though. Yeah, only 2 storms. Not enough High Templar. Does recall in time. Lurkers are pushing in. And does MaxPax turn around? I mean, he just recalled. He just recall. He's going to lose his third base, trying to push in. There are lurkers back at home. It's all or nothing with MaxPax. Does he try to keep pushing here? The answer is yes. Yeah, true. He kind of recall into the main. Oh. Going for the slow zone. The Mothership recall is available. But MaxPax, yeah, it's taking too long. It's taking too long. Serral, he has maxed out. And he can always Nidus back home. Tries to lunge in. Local save into the natural. Getting 33 probe kills. And MaxPax just never allowed to get a 4th base. It's not like Serral's economy is any better here. I mean, it is better than the 2-base economy, to be fair. But he's running out of gas. He has Vipers, though. He has Vipers ready. He has enough lurkers. He has the high ground advantage as well. Is going to move in. Now, it's going to be one and done for MaxPax. Like, once again, as we were mentioning, there's no economy for MaxPax. There's no bank, I should say. But he does have almost a maxed out army. And he can win a fight. But he needs to win a decisive fight. Has to break through and then go for the bases. Has to break through and go for the kill. Oh. So far, good trades. Nice storm. Corruptors are building up. There's 7, soon to be 14 Corruptors. Nice across the map. These are going to be 0-0 Corruptors. Nice is going to finish. Not much of them to defend. Nice pickups. But it's going to come down to the dive. It's going to come down to those Corruptors. Oh. Local save gaining ground. Ooh, forced to recall. Uh-oh. Does recall back home. Collapse on the army. Lurkers, they get away. This is allowing Serral to build back up. The Swarmers are exposed, though. You know, here comes a dive. Oh, we do have some storms, but the Tempest, yeah, they're going to be shut down. Again, MaxPax only fighting with half his army. Ay, ay, ay. Does force back the Corruptors. That was how many, though? That was 5 Tempests going down. That was brutal. And MaxPax, he's supply blocked. He's supply blocked. I mean, he doesn't really have an economy. MaxPax's army is just getting smaller. And Serral can rebuild. Moving in once again. And so just out positioning MaxPax here. He has the high ground. The Immortals, they can do nothing. I mean, there's no detection. Oh, Observer now coming in. Observer has arrived. There's that recall. Recall into the main. Oh no! That does leave some of his army behind. The KK's coming in. It's okay. Goes to the main. Gets the Lurker. Ooh, pushing down the low ground. Nice storms here on the Lurkers. What about the Corruptors, though? Lurkers get cleaned up. Good positioning. Nice slow zone. He will take down the natural and the main. Yeah, now Serral is locked outside of his bases. Is locked outside. 4 more Corruptors on the way. GG. Last MaxPax still, though, does tap out. Back at home, losing everything. And Serral takes game 1. Or takes a lead. Takes a 1-0 lead here, up 2-1. Whew. MaxPax not in the worst position there, but back at home, he was losing his bases. He was eventually going to lose the base trade, essentially. GG. GG. Again, MaxPax, if only he could get a 4th base. He was just never allowed to mine from a 4th base this entire game. Never allowed to mine. Wasn't MaxPax winning? He was winning the fights, that is true. But at home, he was losing everything else. Like, he was losing his bases. But I do somewhat agree. I think he could have stuck it out a little bit longer. I think, like, because he was dominating those fights, unironically. The mental was broken. Now we're getting to our next game. Unlimited vacation tickets. Oh no, they're all one way. His base was, oh, he had just lost his natural. Like, his natural was dead. He only had the 1 base left. So the win condition for Serral was just kill the buildings, basically. Just kill the buildings. And here we go. We're getting to our next game. Getting into game number 4 and potentially the final game of the series. Serral here needs one more. Needs one more win here, one more game to advance on to those grand finals. Again, we have yet to experience MaxPax's late game. I think you saw a glimpse of it here. Like, again, bearing in mind, MaxPax, he pulled off that game off of purely a 3-base economy. Like, he never got a 4th. He never got a 4th base, yet he was able to be as efficient as possible and build up that kind of army. Imagine a MaxPax with proper 4 bases. like, imagine him with 4 bases, mate. He would have been all over it. But he was, of course, denied that and has been denied that this entire series. We'll see if he can finally get there. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming, down in the series. He needs one more game here to tie things up to force the ace match. The pressure is on. He has to win here and now. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player representing Basilisk, from the land of Finland. One game away from making it to the grand finals. It is Serral. Not sure why MaxPax insists on this build since he lost with them recently in Master Coliseum against Serral. He also defeated Serral with that build as well in Master Coliseum. And even in that last game, I favor MaxPax if only he was able to defend against the Locust Waves. Like that, I think that was like the big X factor there, because initially the Stormhost were doing nothing. If you recall, initially the Stormhost, they got Zealots and a Pylon, and then more Zealots and another Pylon, but over time they took down bases. They were a part of the reason why the 3rd and 4th base kept going down, is because of those Locust Waves. And if that wasn't a factor, if MaxPax was able to keep up with the Nidus Worms, then most likely he sustains a base, he sustains his army, and then he wins. And then he's able to maintain his economy, and then he wins from there. Alas, shout out to Serral, of course, for being so persistent with those Nidus Worms and with the Locust Waves and with the harassment to make sure that MaxPax never had a stable economy and never maxed out. So on the one hand, you can look at that and be like, oh, like, why is he playing, like, Archon drop? Like, he just lost. Well, if you like take into consideration what happened in that game, it's like, I mean, he did lose, but only because of Serral's harass, right? Like, and even then, it was unique to El Dorado as well. Winding it back, like, we typically don't see Nidus Swarmhost on these other maps. It is best seen on El Dorado because of the terrain, because big portions of the map are just cut off from each other, so it can be difficult keeping up with those Nidus Worms. So coming into the rest of these games, even if we go to the ace match, I don't expect Serral to go Nidus Swarmhost again. I don't expect that. It's like an El Dorado thing. From here is going to be a Void Ray opener out of MaxPax. Let's go. So 2 games in a row so far is going to be a Void Ray opener. The goal here to hunt down the Overlords. Last game, this led into an Archon drop, going into the faster Robo. This game, we'll see if he goes into the Robo once again, or if he goes into something more standard. We'll see. Max never maxed out. Instead, Max paxed out. No. You're not wrong. Not wrong. I could sense MaxPax's frustrations in that game. Like, I could see it. It's like, just give me a base. just let me have one base and I'll be good to go. That's all he needed. Just one more base. Just the 4th expansion. As MaxPax going Void Ray into Oracle into a standard follow-up here. We have a Twilight Council and a Forge. This time no earlier Robo. This time no Archon drop. As MaxPax does pull away. Just keeping Serral busy. I'm assuming this is going to be plus on and blink, but we could see a charge-based follow-up instead. Keep an eye on MaxPax. as he is getting his third base up and running. Gateway explosion behind this. Getting up to 6 gates. As Oracle dips in. Gets 2 drones. Gets 2 workers so far. Hoping to force a cancel. Void Ray's in position. Ooh, and the Queens are a little bit late to respond here. The base is going to get canceled. It's close. Up, up. He does. He gets it. Massive pickup. 4th base is delayed. And MaxPax, he has an opportunity here. Getting up to 6 gateways. Does he skip gases? Does he go for 2 more gates? Nah, he's taking... Never mind. He's taking his gases. Okay, gases are on the way, which means we should be taking up into splash damage. Whether it's going to be Colossus or Storm, yet now we have determined. It is going to be Temple Archives into Storm, into Archons. So MaxPax, he's going to be taking up. He's pushing in. Void Ray here at the 4th. Stalkers towards the 3rd. Hatcher taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage. Serral thankfully did go for a safety Roach Warren. It's keeping up. Keeping up with Lings, keeping up with Roaches. Will maintain his base. Queens, they respond. Void Ray gets forced back. So he's holding. He's holding on. Oh. Likewise, MaxPax shaving off a couple of Lings, getting caught out for a moment. Does pull away. Void Ray getting adventurous here, going for the Queens. Taking a lot of hull damage. Not quite worth it. Meanwhile, Stasis Trap about to go up. Oh! Not quite. Barely not. Nice dodge here from MaxPax. Avoids the Biles. Storm is now on the way. Charge as well. Behind this, Serral stuck on a 3-base economy. Just trying to force MaxPax back. Baits out the Stasis. Ooh. Baits out the Stasis. 4th base now getting up and running. But Serral is not droning. Not yet. Instead, getting ready with Dropper Lords. Dropper Lords are amassing. As MaxPax, he finally backs off. He retreats. Robo is now on the way. Getting a 4th base as well. And so far, MaxPax is doing a great job of just maintaining map control, keeping Serral pinned back home. And Serral, he is still not droning, by the way. He's committed. Yeah, he is committed. He's going to be loading everything up. Queens are walking across the map. He's going for an all-in. It's going to be a big 3-base all-in out of Serral. Stasis goes up. Serral has no further attack, no Hydras, no Infestation Bit, no Hive, no drones, no nothing. Just Lings, Roaches, Ravagers, and Queens. Drop Lords are ready. Serral being forced back. Uh-oh. Is going to be forced back, and now he starts droning. Now he starts taking. This is late, by the way. Yeah, rough position for Serral. He was committed 100%, and now he's going to fall behind. Again, the droning is late. The tech is late. Now getting to a 5th base. MaxPax has momentum. He pushes out. And there's a mid-tier army here waiting for him. Ling, Roach, Ravager. How good are the storms going to be? Ling's coming from behind. Stasis pops up. The Miles. Oh my god. Barely don't connect. Meanwhile, Ling drop into the main. Doesn't get much done. Zelarome gets 7 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. Zelsay pop off. Lings are cleaned up. MaxPax looking for a way in. Almost getting surrounded. Storms connect. High Templar exposed. Force to morph in. Nice Biles. MaxPax, he has to retreat. I mean, the Ravagers are exposed, but takes down both of the Archons. Cell trying to hold on. Zelarome is brutal, though. Once again, getting 3 more drones. War Prism barely survives. Oh, no! I spoke too soon. Prism goes down. And MaxPax playing with fire here is deep on creep. Yeah, he has to get out of here. Has to pull away. MaxPax gets punished. Now here comes the storm. As I still do favor MaxPax in this position. Again, because of the attempted all-in out of Serral, like his tech is still so late, Lurker Den is still on the way. Until the Lurkers come out, Serral, he's vulnerable. Catching out 3 queens. Queens get picked up. MaxPax moving in. On the Wiles! Wiles do connect. Brutal storms though. That was the last storm. Storms have run out. GG gets called MaxPax. He breaks through and MaxPax ties up the series. We're going to the ace match. Whew. GG. GG. Serral with the failed all-in. He committed so hard to that, going for the 67 drone all-in. Alas, wasn't quite able to do any damage really, and he fell behind. He fell behind from there. MaxPax from that moment did snowball out of control with Storms, with Immortals, with Archons. He was trading very well, and we just saw how far away Lurker Tech was for Serral. Without that, without either Lurkers or without any counter damage, he just needed something to buy time. He had nothing. He had nothing. GG. GG, well played. We find ourselves in the ace match. We're going all the way. We're going all the way to game 5. And I'm a little bit surprised that this map was not vetoed. Up next, Whispers of Gold. Let's go. We are getting into Whispers. Which, again, I assume this was going to be vetoed. This is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. And this tells me that we're never going to see any late game between these two in the series. It's just not happening. It's we got that last time they played, but not this time. Shorter, more aggressive games here instead. And here we go. We're getting into the ace match, the final game of the series, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the Finnish Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Serral. Here we go. Another Sunday, another Serral versus MaxPax. Yeah, I mean, we've been hosting major events, I guess, 2 weeks in a row. We had Massive Coliseum last week. We have LiuLi Cup this week. This is the last major event of January. Is LiuLi Cup. And the next big event after this is Stars Agora, which is still a couple of months away. But Stars Agora would be the next big one, at least announced so far. Sometimes there's 2 a day. Sometimes the best of 9. It's crazy. Crazy. Unfortunately, not a best of 9 for the finals today. Unfortunately, it's going to be a best of 7 instead. Feels bad, man. But now a hatch gas pool, standard opener out of Serral, force take the unnatural natural. And MaxPax going for a standard opener himself, gate expand into Cybercore. But welcome one and all to Whispers of Gold. This is a very small map of the map pool, very small map, very aggressive as well. The 3rd and 4th base are a lot more exposed compared to maps like Ultra Love or Whispers, or Ley Lines. So these bases are much more exposed. Rush distance by ground is shorter. You can knock down these rocks to reduce the time it takes even shorter. Can be brutal. So aggression can be favored. It goes both ways. We have yet to see Glaive Adepts out of MaxPax this series. We could see it here. Could definitely see it working. Otherwise, we'll see if he goes for a more standard style instead. Here we go. But now, Stargate opener out of MaxPax. For the last 2 games, MaxPax has opened up Void Ray. True. That's going for a Void Ray opener. Could commit once again. First year without IEM. Yeah, we spoke about it during the podcast. Very sad. Focusing on our match. Best of 9, 30 plus minutes is a bit long. I mean, we had a best of 9 last week. we hosted a best of 9 between Hero and Serral, as they were the 2 finalists of Master Coliseum. Honestly, it was really good. If you missed out on it, I do recommend the finals of Master Coliseum, Hero versus Serral, best of 9. It was crazy. MaxPax does shade in, is going to be shut down. MaxPax getting too excited. Got calm down, baby, calm down. Serral moving out. And this time, no Void Ray. Okay, this time it is going to be Oracle Openers out of MaxPax, headed towards his 3rd. No Void Rays. Which means, likewise, he won't be able to hide the tech either. So most likely a standard game here out of MaxPax. Standard opener, I should say. This can still lead into a 3-base all-in. Like, I can 100% see MaxPax going for, like, an AK 3-base all-in. Meanwhile, the expansion is going to be denied. Up! It's so close! Ooh, there's a cancel. Massive pick-off. Oracle across the map. Kills 1 drone, but lost the base. So better trade for Serral. Did force a cancel. Behind this, there's that tech. Twilight Council's on the way. Overlord is being hunted down. Uh-oh. That is a very fast Twilight Council, by the way. MaxPax, what's it gonna be? One of 2 things. This is either Glaive Eps or Fast Blink. One or the other. Fast Blink is more of a defensive initial style because it gives you map control early on. If Serral were to go for like a roach space all-in from here, then Blink would be done in time to defend. Otherwise, a more aggressive option, rushing into Glaives. Glaives, extra gateways into just mass aggression here from MaxPax. Yep, there it is. Glaive Eps. Oh boy. And hopefully Serral isn't too greedy there. We go 5-minute Roach Warren. That's okay. It's a safe Roach Warren timing at 5 minutes. So Roaches are going to be out in time. Likewise, we have some SimCity here. The creep tumors do make this a little bit awkward though. So Serral, he might not be able to actually wall this area off because of those tumors. I'm brought back to Raynor series. If you were here for Raynor versus Hero, it was a similar story where Raynor, he actually could not wall this area off because of his creep, and then Hero just killed him with Glaive Eps. Like, that was very rough. Very rough. As the Eps, they are banking up. And MaxPax is moving out. Now, okay, looks like we do have enough room. Eva Chamber's on the way. MaxPax, he does commit. 2 Eps, they get called out already. 1 Ep goes down. And nice start for Serral. Boys being pulled away. Stage, they can keep up. They can and they will. The wall is not a wall. And drones are forced to fight. Drones are going down. And this is getting out of hit already. Oh no! 10, 11, 12 drone kills and counting. This is critical damage. This might just be too much. Not again, Papi, not again. As we commit to Shade, boys getting caught out. 17 drone kills. And is this how Serral is knocked out of the tournament? We've seen Serral lose the Glaive Eps against Hero, against MaxPax, and now against MaxPax again. 19 drone kills. Oh my god. No. I say 19, 20, 22. Can we get up to 25? Can we get up to 30? Because MaxPax, he's still not done. He shades into the natural. Does focus fire. Getting up to 24. Getting up to, give us 25. 25 drones. 27. Do we hit 30? No shot. No shot. 29. What a mass. One more. No. Target fire. One more. He gets it. 30. Oh no. 30 kills. He's listening to the stream. Oh no. Well then. 30 drones go down. Stasis into the natural, catching out 3 more drones. And that is critical damage. That is game-ending damage at this point. I would say that Serral has to go for an all-in. Bearing in mind, Serral, look at his drone count here. You may be thinking, looks can be deceiving. The soup does often lie. Serral, he's up to 62 drones and he's getting up to 70. He's joining up to 70. But the problem here is that everything else is delayed. There's no army, there's no tech. We are working towards the infestation pit. There's no hydrogen. Hydrogen just now going to be on the way. Everything here is delayed for Serral as he has been hyper-fixated on re-droning. Meanwhile, MaxPax, he's chilling. He's been chilling on a 3-base economy, now getting a 4th base, gearing up towards Storm. And there's going to be a window here where MaxPax can hit with Storm before Serral is ready with Lurkers. I mean, we've spoken about this timing. I mean, he's hit it time and time again. It happened on Ley Lines. It even happened in the previous game as well on Ultra Love, where MaxPax was able to break Serral before Lurker Tech. And this is where Serral's in a rough position. Speaking of Lurkers, there it is. Lurker Den is on the way. Storm is on the way as well. And can Serral survive until Lurkers? Can he survive? Can he buy time? As MaxPax, he's trading well, moves in. Avoids the bile, shaves off Lings. He's forcing Serral to make more Lings, of course. Serral, I mean, he barely has an army because of his droning. I mean, again, because also those workers, he barely has an army to work with. Nice stasis traps. Lings, they do get engaged here with those stalkers. Not bad. Very nice stutter stepping. Out of Serral, just keeping up. Storm is almost done. Seconds away from finishing. Storm is almost done. High Templar, we have 6 of them ready. Oh boy. 6 High Templar. Storm done in 10 seconds. Meanwhile, there are 6 Hydras on the way. Can Serral pull this off? As these Hydras are going to have to immediately morph into Lurkers. Oh boy. Go. Hydras. We need the Lurkers. We need them. There we go. First Lurkers on the way. Just the one. There we go. 2 Lurkers. 3 Lurkers. They're coming. It's not 3 Lurkers are not going to be enough. No. Storm pops off. Shuts down the Lings. The Lings, they attempt to surround. The army's vulnerable. And MaxPax, he is coming in for the kill. The Lurkers, they're just now finishing up. Oof. As 3 of them have arrived, but there should be, there's detection. There's that revelation. The rest of the army crumbles. So far, forcing MaxPax back. The 3 Lunkers, papi, they're holding. We got 2 more on the way. Oh, 1 more on the way. As MaxPax, he attempts to rotate. Rotating once again. Gets revelation. Storm popping up. Lings, they do engage. Oh, can they get a High Templar? They do. They force the morph in. They force out the Archon. Serral, he's holding. He's barely holding on. He gets 1. Gets 1 Archon. At the same time, Zealot was left inside. There's not much actually to work with. Yeah, Lurkers are being targeted down. Both Lurkers full. Serral is being broken. He's barely keeping up with those reinforcements. With the Lings. He's barely holding. Behind this MaxPax, he's just getting full 4-base saturation, rallying across the map. Like, Serral is doing everything he can to just, like, keep his head above water. To survive. But it is an uphill battle. It's very uphill. And MaxPax, he dives in, denies some of those Lurkers. Reforce back. Was able to deny 2. 2 Lurkers were cancelled. From here, rotates once again. Serral trying to keep up with those rotations. There's revelation. Lurkers are exposed. 1, 2, 3 Lurkers going down. Ooh, brutal pickoffs. Every Lurker here is so precious for Serral. He can't afford to lose them like this. Oh god, guys, he's gonna lose everything here. GG, it's just too much, and MaxPax, he will take the series 3-2, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, killing 30 drones did basically end the game there. It was impressive that Serral, he was, again, barely surviving, but he was never ahead. He never stabilized. He never did stabilize, never was able to maintain himself. He was just barely holding on with a handful of Lurkers. And again, because of the previous damage by the Adepts. Like, it all just snowballed from there. That is too much to be losing at this level of play. And again, unfortunately, Serral, he was unable to keep up. He was unawares of the Adepts. He tried to wall off, but if you remember, he had pulled the boys and he had tried to wall at the same time, and the drones were in the way, so the wall actually never constructed, and Adepts, they got there in time as well. On top of that, what helps MaxPax, or what helps the aggressor, as we were trying to emphasize at the start of the game, is the size of the map. Whispers of Gold. Whispers of Gold does favor aggression. It does favor these more aggressive builds, because it takes so little time to get across the map. You have that much less time to react and to respond. With that, GG. GG, well played. Whew. MaxPax does knock Serral out of the tournament, and we have a PVT finals confirmed. Let's go. Let us go. The man everyone is talking about. Yeah, the best player in the world, Clem. Clem is waiting in the grand finals. Actually, I got you, Bobby. I got you. Exclamation mark and be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back of yourselves. Let's switch our scenes over and have a look at the bracket. Here we go. As, of course, it has been a long week of StarCraft. If you missed out, I do recommend the VODs. I do recommend the VODs here. Again, we have been casting LiuLi Cup every day for the past 5 days. We've been going over the upper and lower portions of the bracket here. And, of course, Clem did take down Serral 3-2 in those finals. I was expecting a rematch. Not gonna lie, this was very close, by the way. This was a very close series. I do recommend watching Serral versus Clem. It went all the way to Game 5. I was hoping for a rematch, but no. Instead, we get a series that we actually never saw. MaxPax, he was denied from facing off against Clem. MaxPax, he lost earlier in the tournament against Serral in the upper half of the bracket, and MaxPax, he clawed his way back in. He took down Skillers, took down Raynor, took down Serral, and now MaxPax, he's up against Clem in those finals. There we go. He's up against Clem in a best of 7. So we do need a moment to get that going. Grand finals. Best of 7. Bam. Okay. And we do need some time. To actually get Clem, to get Clem ready, to get his camera rolling as well. Again, the main stream, when I say the main stream, the Chinese stream, they have cameras going, they have their webcam showing, so they have to set up the cameras, players have to put on some clothes, and likewise, vetoes have to be conducted as well. So we do need some time to conduct those vetoes and to get everything ready for the finals. Here we go. I thought Captain Fish was the best player in the world. Second only to Clem. Captain Fish, he's the best Terran. Clem is the best Protoss. Clem is waking up. He is. He's just now waking up. We actually have to call him. We have to call him up. Oh, no. That actually happened. If you were here for... Was it Alima League? Ooh. Was it Alima League? The December finals? No. I think it might have been the November finals. The November finals of Alima League was actually when Clem was one of the players for Alima League, and I think we had to wait like half an hour, maybe 40 minutes for him to wake up. We did have to wait for him. Like, they were calling him up. They were calling his dad. Like, wake Clem up, papi. Oh, no. He did wake up in the end. Did wake up. The funny thing about that was that CranKy, he's you know, the main Korean caster for Alima League. He's the main, you know, the main guy behind the scenes for it, and is the main stream for it as well. At the time, they were actually casting from France, because if you remember, Team Vitality, they had sent the Vitality boys over to, I think they were in Paris, France at the time. It was Crank and Ryung and maybe Solar as well at the time. I think Solar may have still been on Team Vitality. No, sorry. He was off Team Vitality. It was Ryung, Crank, and Maru. That's it. They were there. And I was telling them, mate, just like go across the road, just like knock on his door, like just wake Clem up, shake him awake. No. So hopefully we get him here. Hopefully he's able to get his coffee and get things going. Oh yeah. Is the final best of 7? Yes. Finals are best of 7. It was purely best of 5s until the finals. Best of 7. But yes, for now, we're going to be going on a break. We're going to be going on a break. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, hydrate all of your hydras, and when we come back, we will have that best of 7 grand finals ready for you. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of the LiuLi Cup 2024 grand finals. It has been an intense week of playoffs here, 5 days straight of non-stop StarCraft, and now we finally reached our top 2 players of the tournament. In a twist of fate, Serral has fallen. Serral has fallen, and now we have a TVP of Terran and Protoss facing off in a best of 7. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the French Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, the Serral Slayer himself, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat, as this could go either way here. I mean, we have some things to bear in mind, to consider, of course. First things first, Clem, he just woke up. He is bright and early, wide awake. He's got his coffee in hand, he's got his baguette as well. He's ready to game, ready to go. MaxPax, he just endured a full best of 5 against Serral, went all the way to the ace match. Was a very close, very tense series between himself and Serral. Meanwhile, Clem has been chilling, has been asleep, has been enjoying himself, resting up, making sure that he is at 100% for this series, for this finals. So again, that could be a factor coming in. Just, of course, Clem, he's also the reigning world champion. He's the favorite player in this event. But MaxPax with the upset, he took down Raynor, he took down Serral. Now he's up against his nemesis, his longtime rival, I would say, if you're familiar with the online weekly cups, with ESL Open Cups, with the World TV Mondays, with the Pigastorm Mondays as well. We see MaxPax and Clem face off week after week after week, time and time again. I would say that, again, even though we have a favorite player here, these two go back and forth. MaxPax and Clem, they go back and forth week after week after week. They do trade blows, and I'm here for a series. Best of 7. I'm hoping for, you know, nothing one-sided here. I'm hoping for a game 4, a game 5, a game 6, maybe even a game 7. We'll see if we can get there. We shall see. For the time being, double gas. Double gas opener out of Clem, going for a faster factory, delayed CC, so a little bit more tech-heavy out of our Terran player. Just a little bit more tech-heavy. Reaper moves out, and back at home, MaxPax is going to be opening up standard. Gate into Cybercore, into Nexus. Chilling back at home, Adept has arrived, and it's going to be on MaxPax to keep up with the Reaper. We go. As Reaper dips in, dips out. So far, MaxPax is all over this. We have a take of choice, going for a Twilight Council opener. Meanwhile, Clem. Hello. As Clem is looking to spice things up early on here, going for a proxy starport. So ideally, this is a proxy starport into a medevac for a Hellion drop into the main. Technically, this could be a proxy liberator for a Hellion harass at the natural and liberator harass into the main. So it could be one or the other. I'm leaning more towards drop play, leaning more towards the medevac, but both are viable here. Regardless, aggression from Clem. We'll see what he can get done. We'll see if he can pull MaxPax apart. As the Hellions are building up, medevac is on the way, so it is going to be for that drop into the main. Likewise, MaxPax keeping up with the Reaper at least. Does keep up, does zone him away. We're waiting for that final Hellion. There we go, 4 Hellions have arrived, and they're moving out across the map. Now, as a reminder, math-wise, how many Hellions does it take to one-shot a probe? 3 Hellions. 3 Hellions is all it takes. So again, there's a lot of one-shot potential. There's a lot of potential here to just harass and to roast up that mineral line, to wreak havoc. Depth Shade's in. Does not make it into the main, but SCV's under fire. Meanwhile, here come the Hellions. Oh no! The boys are being pulled. They're being pulled into Hellion fire. Oh my god! The probes line up, and this is critical damage. 10, 12 workers going down. Ay. MaxPax. He doesn't care about his boys. Oh my god. 14 probes going down. That's almost and he's not done. He's not done. He's back. Oh no, he's back for whatever's left over. Gets 15, 16 probe kills. Someone stop this man. As MaxPax, he just sent them into the meat grinder bat. Yay. And now he rotates into that one. Not again. Don't pull in. Don't pull in. Por favor. As getting up to 17, 18 probe kills. And with that, that is more than enough damage. Clem, I'm sure, is very happy with this. Getting one final probe towards the end. 19 probe kills with that Clem. He is looking comfortable, looking very, very comfortable here on 2 bases. He can chill, he can calm down. All Clem has to do is survive. MaxPax is forced to counterattack. He has to counterattack. Blink is done. We have the Prism on the way. Behind this, how many gateways? 3 gate. 3 gate Blink out of MaxPax, but he can barely afford any reinforcements, any warp ins. The tank is set. The bunker is still not done though. Bunkers are done. MaxPax, he dives in. He wants the tank. He wants it. He won't get it. He will not get the tank. Yeah, bleeds out the Adept, bleeds out 1 Stalker. The bunker will complete, and Clem, he will hold. From here, he should repair. There we go. Does pull a couple of boys, will repair the tank. MaxPax warping in 3 Stalkers at a time, and again, MaxPax, he has to get something done here. He's pushing in. He dives in, goes to dive, gets the tank. 1 tank goes down. Nice juggling, saves the Stalkers, pulls away. A good start for MaxPax, but he needs more. As he rotates towards the main base, bunker is ready. Gets past the bunker. Ooh, bleeds out 1 Stalker in the process. Brutal pickup. A brutal loss there. The Bio Army does push in. Another Stalker goes down. Boys being pulled. None of the SCVs go down. So good defense so far by Clem. So far he's only lost 1 tank. Ooh, and GG gets called. Not enough damage. Clem, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Clem popping off with the initial Hellion drop. Again, MaxPax Seagull caught completely off guard. The pants were down, Pappy. Completely with his pants down. Again, the kind of reaction, the response that he had to the drop as well was brutal for him to pull the boys into the Hellions. I think maybe initially he thought that there were going to be like Widow Mines coming his way or something. Alas, he lost everything in the main base. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Clem takes a lead. Clem does take a lead. With that will take us into game number 2. Now, as a reminder, despite Clem taking a lead here in the series, it's a best of 7. It's a best of 7. Plenty of games ahead of us. Plenty of games to come. So do not worry, do not fret. As we are getting into game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on Ley Lines. Let's go. Here we go. Hellion Harass is pretty good, huh? I mean, it's good when the probes line up. Like, I mean, a couple of things occurred, right? First things first, MaxPax, he wasn't able to confirm that there was missing tech, that there was anything missing across the map, so he had no reason to suspect that there was a fast drop coming into the main base. Likewise, he had no spotter pylon in the corner of his main, so without a spotter pylon, without anything in position, it means that he had less time to react to what was happening. We saw that the reaction was, again, to be more aggressive with his workers. He did lose everything in the process. So again, MaxPax was caught completely unawares, and we saw what happens when that occurs, right? 19 probe kills. And here we go. We're now getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines, leading the series 1-0. We have the French Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Psy Storm Gaming, down in the series, but it's a best of 7. It is MaxPax. Here we go. Here we can calm down and settle in. Now, I do not expect another proxy Hellion drop again in the near future. I think maybe if we get to game like 5 or game 6, we can bring it back. But typically, that's something that you do once in a series. The reason for that is because, of course, if it doesn't get any damage done, it means that you have no starport production because your starport has to float all the way back home. Your Hellions get shut down. Your opponent gains map control. Then they can counterattack with their Stalkers. Things can very quickly snowball in favor of the Protoss if the Hellion drop fails. So it can be very risky and very committed, so I don't expect to see that again. It was a really good way to start the series from Clem, so props to Clem, but from now we should be calming down. As we see only 1 gas being taken, it is going to be this time a more economic opener. Remember, last game it was double gas into a faster factory, into a proxy starport. This time single gas into a faster CC on, I would imagine, low ground, potentially on the high ground just to be safe, but economic start nonetheless. So a very different opener here from Clem. Much more economic, less aggressive. As MaxPax, being as annoying as possible, will delay the CC by a couple of seconds. Okay, by 1 or 2 seconds, so not bad. Does delay. Interesting. Is going to be chronoing out that first Zealot. So the first Zealot has arrived. Going to be reinforcing. And we'll see if MaxPax can cancel. Or I should say cancel. We'll see if he can delay the CC. We shall see. As Zealot is moving out. Behind this, the Reaper is checking for proxies. Checking the third base locations to make sure that there is no setup here. For more aggression. Zelda's making his way across the map. Likewise, Adept to reinforce. As they do shade. Zealot has arrived, and MaxPax does find the Zealot. Can kite it down. Bunker is going to be delayed. Adept is on the way. So far, good control here by Clem. He doesn't take any damage from the Zealot whatsoever. Oh my god. Shuts it down. The SCV is one shot away from going down, and here comes the Adept. Ooh, and it looks like he can delay the bunker. Not quite. And Marines are in position. And the bunker completes. The bunker, the CC, Adept was too late. Clem holds. Here comes the second Adept. Oh. Second Adept does arrive. Marines are racing the way into the bunker. The bunker is done. They do dive in. And with that, Clem holds. Whew, okay, we can breathe. MaxPax is going to be threatening shades. Back at home, it is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of MaxPax. It is going to be Twilight Council into Blink. Question becomes, how many gateways? How many gates? Oh. As one Adept goes down. We do have the one gate in the main. We have 2 here at the natural, so 3 gate Blink once again out of MaxPax. Very safe way to play. Very safe. I mean, we saw this last game as well. Does allow MaxPax to be assertive to gain map control. Meanwhile, Clem, he's building up to his own 3-1-1 setup here, throwing down his second, soon to be a third Rax as well. Nothing too crazy. Oh, Adept did shade in though. That was not meant to happen. SCV goes down, delays the Rax. Nice pickup. Yeah, more boys are being pulled as well. Very nice damage from MaxPax. No major losses, but I mean, I say that 3 SCV kills, not bad. Guess 3. Can we get up to 4? Not quite. So 3 SCVs go down. And lost mining time, of course, as well. So a better start for MaxPax. Behind this, getting his third, and will soon move out. We'll soon move out. Behind this, Robo is done. No War Prism. So very light aggression here from MaxPax. He skips the War Prism, affords a faster third base. He's being active with the Stalkers, but he has no way to reinforce or to really force his way in. He has no intention to. Oh no! Ooh, Observer does run into the Raven. Observer goes down. No high ground vision. Wants the Raven or any kind of pickups. He gets a Marine. Gets 2. 2 Marines go down. Marines do fall. Where's MaxPax being forced back? Again, Stim is not yet done here, so Clem trading out Marines. Oh, trying to catch out those Stalkers. Unable to. MaxPax, he bypasses the main army. Ooh, shot goes off. Shot goes off. MaxPax, he's diving in towards the mineral lines. Yeah, boys are being pulled. SCV's going to be going down. Really rough movement here for Clem. As he's waiting on the low ground. But MaxPax, he goes further in. Ooh, 6 SCV kills. Raven goes down as well. Massive pickoffs. And this is becoming far too much. From here, we can always recall. Ooh, I say that is going to be a lot of dead Stalkers. True. A lot of Stalkers are going down. There's a recall towards the end. 3 Stalkers escape. That was 6 Stalkers for 11 SCVs and a Raven. I mean, the Raven was a big pickup, true. So very nice pickup. With that, MaxPax takes an economic lead. And Clem falls behind. Again, Clem, he was just being far too adventurous. Moving out with those 2 tanks was crazy. And he got punished for it. Did get punished for just being too aggressive. MaxPax looking a lot more comfortable here. Ooh. Has to be careful. Does run into those tanks. Behind this, taking up, getting his third base saturated, working towards immortal production. Bay is on the way as well. Here comes that Prism. Charge is about to finish. As Clem moves out, the Prism can move in. Uh-oh. MaxPax trying to slow down the push. Third CC is on the way. This is not a 2-base all-in. So this is not an all-in. Clem's push is delayed. Drop into the main. Do we have any reinforcements? Only a handful. And the SCVs that look from earlier. And more SCVs going to be falling. Clem, he turns around for a moment. Fourth base on the way. Clem is going to commit. And he will lose 5 SCVs back at home for 4 Zealots. Still a better trade for MaxPax, just keeping the economy of Clem low. Keeping it as low as possible. Clem moving in. Tanks do siege, going for the 5th base, so the 4th even. See if he can bring it down. Nice force fields. Ooh, popping up here out of Clem. He pulls away in time. Gets over to the other side. Gets a lot of damage done on that Nexus. Nexus is getting low. Very low here. A couple more volleys. Mindshot going off. Zelda coming from behind. And with that, MaxPax will clean this up. He shuts down the tanks. The tanks, the Widowmines forces back the army. And MaxPax holds. He does hold on. Across the map, ready for a dive. Widowmines are in position. Oh! Not quite in position though. Prism does get in. Likewise, Colossus has arrived. MaxPax, he shuts down the main push. And Clem, he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam here. Another mind shots. Oh, just the one. Regardless, GG gets called. MaxPax, he overwhelms. And MaxPax ties up the series 1-1. GG, as there were 17 SCVs going down. Again, the damage that MaxPax had dealt in the main base with the Stalkers was critical damage, and Clem was pretty all in there. He did have a third CC on the way, but I mean, I say all in, he was very committed. He had to do some kind of damage. He had to do something across the map. He failed to do so. GG. GG, well played. If he had forced a cancel in the 4th base, then maybe he could have come back home and macro it out of it, but was unable to do so. And with that, we find ourselves in a tied up series. Let's go. We have a back and forth. Has Clem ever pulled the boys? That's a good question, actually. Maybe in the Gressvan era? When was Gressvan? Was that like 2023? But I think I've seen Clem pull the boys on Gressvan before, but I might be confusing with another Terran, because I saw a lot of Terran players pull the boys on Gressvan. A lot of Terran players. No. So, maybe on that one, maybe. And even then, that was a long time ago. Long time ago. Catching up. But yeah, you're correct in that sense, that where like I have to like reach back into like the recesses of my mind to like think of like Clem going for 2 base all-ins. Like Clem does cheese, like I'm sure you'd know this as well. Just to reiterate, we've seen Clem plenty of times like go Proxy Marauder. Like Clem, he loves Proxy Marauder, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Proxy Marauder at some point in this series. So he does cheese. He does go for proxies, that is true, but specifically like 2 base all-ins where you pull the boys, like I think that I agree. I think that is more of a rarity for Clem. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 3, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the red Protoss player from Denmark representing Sidestorm Gaming. Does fight back, does tie the series. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Terran player representing Team Liquid, being forced into a tied series. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is Clem. So yeah, Clem, he does cheese, he does proxy, but Specifically, 2-base all-ins, maybe less so. I mean, now that we bring it up, what I will say, this map is pretty good for 2-base all-ins. Wisps of Gold is, again, one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. Very small map, short rushes to spy ground, exposed third base, exposed fourth base, no ramp coming into the natural as well, so very, very advantageous for an aggressive player. Speaking of aggression, Clem is coming in for an eBay block. Let's go. And the ideal for Clem is to force MaxPax to expand elsewhere, to expand at the third location, and then Clem can be hyper-aggressive in the aftermath and try to punish MaxPax, as here comes the eBay. So we expect aggression here from Clem. Is setting up for it. MaxPax he is yet to confirm. And MaxPax is going to be forced to go for the unnatural natural. Oh boy. Now, thankfully, this isn't like 2 patches ago when you could react around cyclones. That was a dark time in the history of StarCraft, reacting out cyclones and just going for all-ins off of this. That was also something that Clem did love. He would in this position, he would just all-in and just go for like mass cyclone behind this and just crush the natural. This is back in, and not even too long. This is like the start of 2024, like a year ago. Dark times. Here, MaxPax, he does have the opportunity to defend. It is going to be an awkward defense, true, as he's stuck in between his third and his main. From here, very commonly, we see Protoss players go Stargate. The reason for this is because SkyToss units, obviously, they don't have to traverse the terrain here to rotate between the bases. Wow, but it is going to be a Twilight Council opener. Okay, Twilight Council out of MaxPax. Back at home, Clem just going for a CC on the high ground, racks into factory to CC, into a 1/1/1 Widowmine drop. Here we go. So just settling into a standard follow-up. Does force MaxPax into an uncomfortable position. But outside of that, nothing too major yet. Building up his bio. I'm curious to see if Clem goes for a Widowmine drop plus Marine. Marine Widowmine drop, which is again quite popular amongst the Korean Terran players. Referring to Maru and Byan. Which is designed to get economic damage and to wreak havoc across the map. It's going to be on MaxPax here to keep tabs on the army. And keep tabs on the base. As here comes a natural. Waiting for the medevac. Ooh, Viking first. Okay, I mean, Clem, he hasn't scouted. This tells us that he's getting ready for a Stargate opener. Cyclone into Viking. Okay, does cancel. Never mind. Does cancel the Viking. Early tank production has begun. As looks like Clem, he has ruled out SkyToss. Or Stargate. As he breaks down, tries to get local, and he gets punished for it. A very nice movement here by MaxPax. Takes out the Cyclone. Massive pickoff. Cyclone goes down. Clem, he's vulnerable here. Uh-oh. Is vulnerable. MaxPax, he reinforces. Behind this, going to Blink. Prism's on the way. Ooh, Blink is not done. One soldier goes down. Likewise, brutal pickoff here for MaxPax. Medevac has now arrived. Now Clem is being pinned back. He's being pinned back. Behind this is going to be 3-gate Blink. Third base on the way. And yeah, just kind of a really awkward setup here from Clem. Like, delayed starport production into medevac, but stuck at home. Blink into the main. Delay some of the production as well. SCV goes down. MaxPax going for the warp in. Remember, Stim is not done, nowhere near. It's all about the tanks. So far, they're in good positions. Tanks are set up. Behind this again, MaxPax is not going all in. He's just macroing up, getting a forge, charge, +1, saturating his third base, and more importantly, just containing Clem. Just containing the Terran on 2 bases for as long as possible. Clem's still building up. MaxPax getting ready for a split push. Does throw in the gas geyser. Oh! Picks up in time. Oh, Observer gets caught out. Does get the production. Upgrades are on the way. Basically, Clem, he's stuck on 2 bases until the upgrade finishes. He's waiting for Stim, waiting for combat shields. Once they're done, then he can break out, and then he can expand. Speaking of expand, there it is. Third CC's on the way. And behind this, it's all about the greed of MaxPax. He has to get fully saturated on 3 bases, taking up into Colossus. A bay is on the way. And he needs the Colossus in time for the push. Until then, just being active, making sure no drop gets out, making sure that everything stays at home. Loading up zealots. Bay is now done. Colossus production can now begin. Checks the main, confirms the CC, confirms the army. As Clem, he does finally break out. Does break out. And as Clem moves out, MaxPax he's ready with those zealots. Does dive in, catching a tank. Oh, I'll pick up. Saves 1, saves 2. Very nice control. Clem, he saves the tanks. Unless the player would have lost them. MaxPax does force the siege, takes down the Raven. Very nice snipe. Snipes the Raven. Locking down the army. Nice force fields. Ooh, catching out a medevac as well. And Clem, he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam as he moves out. Getting his third base, forced back home. Zealots try to collapse in the army, but they need reinforcements. Max actually does preserve at least a handful of those zealots, and he gains map control. He moves out. So the Colossus has arrived, and now Clem, he's in trouble here. He has to fall back. He has 3 tanks. Does need to spread them out. MaxPax reinforcing. He can't dive on this. Pushing into a concave. Actually, just pushing past the tanks. Committing in. As Zealots go for the dive. The tanks are exposed. He gets 1 already. Just the 1. Running out of Zealots. Does run out. Oh, Colossus is going to be exposed as well. Clem goes to that. Takes out the Prism. Prism goes down. Colossus as well. MaxPax, he overextended. I got a little bit too greedy. Zealots do get all the tanks. The repairs, though. Oh my god, he saves the tank. He saves it. The boys are pulled. Saves the tank. He barely holds on. And now MaxPax, he's in trouble. Did lose a Colossus, the War Prism. Lost most of his army. An army that is not easy to replace. Now it's time for Clem to counterattack. Does counterattack, does dive in. Tank siege up. Again, this Colossus is so exposed. There's only 2 sentries. Nice force fields. Does hold the line. Zealot run at the same time. SCVs are going to be going down. Going for the counterattack. But I'm not so sure that MaxPax can save this base. There's just so many Marines, so much bio here for Clem. But now there is a 10 Colossus, true. Now there's 2. Oh. 1 gets forced back. Zealots are coming from behind. They force the pickup. And MaxPax, he holds on. Barely does hold. Saves the expansion. Saves the 4th. Barely survives. Clem has to race back. Whew. But Clem still has momentum on his side. Still up in supply. Going for a drop play. Going for that Doom drop. MaxPax still trying to stabilize. Getting up to 3 Colossus. Now the Warp Prism. Drop is moving out. There is a recall available. Speaking of recall, yep, there it is. Recalls into the main. Forge is going to be targeted down. We'll delay some of those upgrades. Despite that, we already have +2. Force to pick up. Ooh, Stalker's ready. Nice movement there to MaxPax, but here come the reinforcements. Clem, he snipes the expansion. Nexus goes down. That's all he wanted. Was to deny the base. Warp Prism as well. And MaxPax is getting pulled apart. He cannot keep up. He had that one recall, but that's all he had. Trying to catch a medevac. Warp Prism did get hunted down. And MaxPax is stuck on 3 bases. He's stuck on a 3-base economy. Even with the Terran. So that's 3 Colossus, true. Still has a terrifying main army, but he has to make use of it. He has to make use of that army. As more Vikings are building up, retaking that 4th base. MaxPax, he up! Oh my god. Gets one medevac. He gets one. The other gets away. Employees of the boys. They're those boys, mate. True. They were crazy. They saved the tanks. And Clem is going to be the first to max out. Going to be the first to max out at this point, getting his 4th base now. Aye, aye, aye. Ghost production has begun, getting into 2-2. See, Max just getting ready with the Zealot run by. This drop has to get damage done. Just has to wait for that moment. Mind shots that didn't go up. Clem, he's maxed. That also means no reinforcements. Means that there's going to be limited production back at home. Prism comes in. DT's getting dropped off. Clem, he turns everything around. He races back home. At least with his reinforcements. Does get a DT. Femi defends, and this buys enough time for MaxPax to max out as well. How many disruptors? 1. Oh. So I just realized MaxPax, I mean, the soup does lie. He's maxed out mainly on Zealot. That's a lot of supply in Zealots, which means less disruptors, which is going to be a concern. Let me rotate in. Go for the expansion stall because they do catch a reinforcing. Reinforcing Viking. Viking goes down. Zealot run gets dealt with. Expansion did fall. That was a kill, not a cancel. I'll dive in. Massive EMPs. EMPs pop up. Nova will connect. Massive connection. Clem dived in. Wasn't worth it. And MaxPax, he can't force this back. Behind the Zelda, the mineral line. SCVs are going down. Clem, he's in trouble here. The ghosts are exposed. 2 ghosts fall, another Nova. Throws the army away. Just the 1 Nova, but it looks like MaxPax, he has enough. He can chase him down. Sometimes 1 Nova is all it takes. I like Poppy, he doesn't have many disruptors. He doesn't need them. He needs 1. 1 disruptor. That's all you need. True. Vikings just shut down the Warp Prism. No more reinforcements. 15 SVs going down. Once again, a better trade here for MaxPax, diving in the army. And Clem, he just doesn't have enough here. There's no ghosts, there's no EMPs. He's being overwhelmed. And MaxPax, everything's swinging in his favor here. The comeback. We had a rough moment earlier. He was behind. GG gets called, and MaxPax, he does take a 2-1 lead. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. I was concerned when Clem, when he killed the 4th base. When he had killed the 4th base, Clem, he was up like 30 supply? He was up 30 supply. He was the first to max out. But if you recall, despite maxing out, he was forced back home because of the DT counterattack. He was delayed, and with that MaxPax, he was able to build up his army. Only had the one disruptor, but hey, he made it count. We had a brutal connection, the ghost count was reset, no more EMPs, and with that, MaxPax did overwhelm. GG. GG, well played. MaxPax does take lead in the series, but again, this is still a best of 7, still plenty more games ahead of us, still more to come, but the pressure is now on. The pressure is now on Clem. Oh boy. The pressure is on. As we are getting ready here for our next game. Here we go. One ball, GG, even happens to clear. I mean, Vappy, one ball is all you need. As long as it connects. But if you recall, when that Nova went off, Clem, he actually stimmed forward and he was trying to focus on the disruptor. He unfortunately didn't focus it down in time. And that's when the Nova went off. And here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're going to be loading into a Frostline. Okay. The map we have yet to feature here tonight is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Is larger, but also very, very difficult to defend as well. Exposed bases. We'll get into it. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the Danish Protoss player, the blue Protoss, leading the series 2-1. Does take a lead. Can he extend that lead? It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the red Terran, down in the series, the reigning world champion for Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. Here we go. I recently changed to Terran after being a terrible Zerg for years. Absolutely can never escape the disruptor pulls. Oh no, the Novas, Pappy, the Novas. It can be difficult. It can be difficult. You have to be very vigilant with your army, with your map vision as well. It's also can be very difficult to make that split second decision of do I pull away, do I stim away from the Nova, or do I stim into the Nova and try to focus on the disruptor? Like it's a hard call to make, very hard. As we do see Clem falling back into double gas. Okay, double gas opener this time into Clem. As a reminder, last game we saw something more economic. Not this time. I mean, I say more economic. It was an eBay block, if you recall. eBay block into the 1-1 into CC. This time, no block. Double gas into a faster factory. Of course, it was game 1 that this led into a proxy starport into a Hellion drop. I don't expect to see that here on Frostline. The map is large, and we actually have seen a lot of proxy starports specifically here in the northern location for that Hellion drop, but because we already saw it once in the series, I don't really see us seeing that again this soon, but we'll see. We'll see what Clem does decide to embrace as the Reaper does move out. Change the proto so you can be killed by bulls just as much. Kind of. Like, disruptors are very standard in mid-game or mid to late game PvP, but if we're being truthful here, you rarely get to the game state. You know, they PvPs, they're a lot more chaotic. I would imagine even more so at lower levels. I could be mistaken there. You know, maybe at lower levels players are more passive, but yeah, I would imagine that it's a little bit more rare to get to that point in PvP. I would imagine that proxies in Orleans are a lot more prevalent. I would imagine. For now though, Adept is going to be shut down. Likewise, behind this, getting to a 1-1-1. CC is almost done. And Clem does move out. Now, it's not too heavy of a commitment here. It's just 2 Hellions and 2 Reapers. This can threaten the mineral line. It can dive in, but alas, Max actually just completely walls off. We got a full wall here at the natural. There's no way in. And with that, MaxPax holds. Shuts down the Reaper. There's a shield battery as well, taking this very seriously. And we have our take of choice. Twilight Council into Blink. Almost every game this series we've seen 3-gate Blink. I think actually every game. Just 3-gate Blink. I mean, it is the meta for a reason. It is the stock standard way of opening up. Very safe here in TVP. It's what we expect. So now more Stalkers are warping in. Clem does reinforce, going for the early... Oh, I was going to say tank drop, the early Cyclone drop. It does reinforce. Clem going to try to break this location here and now. But there is that shield battery. Ooh, 1 Stalker goes down. Massive pickup. He gets 1. Dives further in. Prism has arrived. Now we have an extra blink. And Clemmy's fine. Yeah, he's fine. He shuts this down. Dives in. He wants that Cyclone. 1 more blink. Oh, he gets it. Cyclone goes down. At the same time, Clem going for a Marine drop. Does pivot around. Does rotate. Max actually pushes right down mid. And there's not much of him to defend. Third base is under fire. MaxPax, he commits. Uh-oh. No tanks because of the Cyclone. Yeah, no tanks in the main base. SCVs are going to be going down. Clemmy's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here. Boys are being pulled. Tank pops out. And he can just go for it. Yeah, 1 more volley. Ooh, tank falls. Massive pickoff. Clem falling apart here. Meanwhile, Hellions into main base. Probes are falling. Trading 1 for 1. 7 probes for 6 SCVs. But Clem, yeah, he's being cleaned up. Max actually doesn't turn around. He rotates once again. Remember, no tank on the low ground. Oh, crazy blink. Losing a Stalker. Calm down, MaxPax. Calm down. He's in a better position, but still can't throw his army away. Remember, only 1 tank. Because one tank got sniped, you can see 1 tank has to keep repositioning. And Clemmy's ready in the main. He's not ready at the natural. Oh boy, he needs more time for that 2nd tank. Boys are pre-pulled. Even with those SCVs, this bunker should fall. Yeah, the boys are pulled to repair, but it's not going to be enough. The bunker goes down. The SCV is going to be falling. This is becoming critical damage. Getting another 4 SCVs. Yeah, GG gets caught. He gets pulled apart, and MaxPax takes a 3-1 lead. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Clem being hyper aggressive early on, going for the early move out with the medevac with the Cyclone. Because he got shut down so hard, that's why we saw a very difficult defense there from Clem, a very kind of haphazard defense. Because his tank production was delayed, he had only the 1 tank. Alas, it got sniped early on, and with that, MaxPax did snowball out of control. And now MaxPax is 1 game away from bringing Clem down and from becoming our champion. Oh my god. 1 more game. Uno más, papi. Uno más. Oh my god. And I'm hoping we don't quite end it this quickly here. I was hoping for a longer series, but I mean, even in the games themselves, they've been quite fast. We haven't really been able to embrace proper late game yet between both MaxPax and Clem. We did have a maxed out army on Whispers of Gold. That is true, but that was still a little bit different. That was still very intense and very chaotic. The game still did end quite quickly there after the first big engagement. We haven't really had a longer back and forth yet. Likewise, we didn't get that between Serral and MaxPax either. We had some very fast games between Serral and MaxPax, and same here. Depending on the map, that could continue, or we might slow things down. Ooh, speaking of the map, here we go. We're loading into a much larger map, a much more defendable map. Up next, Amygdala. Here we go. Is this where we slow things down? How will he approach this? Because the pressure is now on Clem. 1 more loss, and the series is over. Here we go. So you can hear the beeps. We are loading into that next game. Potentially the final game of the series. Potentially. Oh boy. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, leading the series 3-1, Onomas 1 game away from becoming our LiuLi Cup champion. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player from Atlanta, France, representing Team Liquid. He's up against the wall. He is the reigning world champion, but he is struggling here in the finals. Can he extend the series? Can he force the ace match? It is Clem. As he moves out with a very early SCV. Max is back at home. SCV's moving out. I would imagine setting up for... Ooh, I was going to say an eBay. Never mind. He will hide the SCV. Does keep it hidden. And are we going for a 2-axe? We are. Okay, it's going to be 2-axe Reaper here from Clem. We'll see what he can get done. We'll see how aggressive he can be. I say 2-axe Reaper. There is a build where you make Marines at home, you proxy Marauder, and then you pull the boys, and you go for an all-in. We have seen Björn and some of the other Korean Terrans embrace that. I can't imagine it's gonna. We're going for that here, right? No shot. Do we send it? Do we commit? There's that Marine. Yo, proxy Marauder. Are we pulling the boys? Mate. Mate, are we going for the tech lab? I think we are. Let's go. Oh, there it is. Tech lab's on the way. Hello. Björn, is that you? We're going proxy Marauder, Marines as well. There is a variation of this where you do pull the boys and you just go one base all in. Just one base all in here from Clem. Assuming that we will be pulling the boys with this. As he's banking up his Marines and soon moving out across the map. Oh boy, Kikaza's shell is on the way. And we'll see how this story ends. Now, for the time being, MaxPax, he is not scouted. He has not recognized anything yet. Going for his own proxy. He's crazy. Setting up his own proxy gateway. Let's go. The pylon has been placed. Marines are moving out. There's that one SCV with the Marauder. And he's not pulling the boys. Okay. The boys are staying back at home. Ooh, he does spot the Marines though. Yeah, did spot the Marines. Big scout here from MaxPax. And now he knows. Yeah, shield battery's on the way. He rallies everything back home. We're getting into proxy stim. Okay. Let's go. We're proxying stim right after. But here come the initial 2 Marauders and the Marines. Catches the probe. Stalkers getting ready though. Again, 2 shield batters on the way. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, MaxPax, he's ready to shut this down. Gets a Marine. Takes down the Marauder. GG gets caught. He gets completely shut down. Again, big scout there out of MaxPax. And with that, MaxPax, he will take the series 4-1. GG. MaxPax will take the series 4-1, and MaxPax, I believe he is our champion here for LiuLi Cup 2024. Bold move out of Clem, maybe just running out of patience towards the end as well. It was a very bold move to go for that proxy Marauder. Alas, he got scattered. The proxy wasn't scattered, but the Marines were. Remember, the Marines got scattered, and as soon as that happened, we saw MaxPax cancel his building across the map. He started shield batteries. Once shield battery was done, that was it. That was game then and there. GG, well played. Clem, we didn't really get any of that kind of mid to late game either. Again, Whistles of Gold was the closest we got to that. Was the closest we got, but alas, congratulations here to MaxPax. He will claim the win. And I mean, MaxPax, he has won online tournaments before. Is this his biggest event? No shot. Actually, I want to find out. Let's have a look here. As MaxPax, he does claim the win, and typically we look at MaxPax, and I'm pretty sure he has won like wardy events, right? Like wardy like invitationals or like summer bashes and stuff like that. But I'm actually not too familiar with the history that he has when it comes to these online tournaments. I know that like this is where he can thrive the most, and MaxPax did very well in Master Coliseum. For those who don't know, MaxPax he got 3rd place in Master Coliseum. He got 3rd just behind Serral and just behind Hero, which is still a really good result for MaxPax. And checking his history here, let's see. True. He did. he did win the previous LiuLi Cup. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Was a smaller event, but did win that. Is this his biggest win? Oh, let's see. Let's see. Technically, Pigsty number 3. This is back in 2023. It was a $3,500 first place prize. But outside of that, yeah, this is his biggest win. There you go. GG. GG. Oh my god. The year of MaxPax. It's time, Pappy. It's finally time. But yeah, I'm just looking at the history here. The last, the only bigger event than this that he had won was the Pigsty Festival number 3, where he beat Maru in the finals 4-3. He actually beat Clem there as well, 4-3 as well. Crazy. GG. GG, well played. You want Pigsty? Yeah. Pigsty is the only other bigger event than this. As that was a 10,000. What was the prize pool as big? It was $10,000 for Pigsty. LiuLi Cup is 7,000. So yeah. Regardless, GG, well played. Ooh, and yeah, shout out to Saber, by the way. Shout out to Saber. Saber, he is the man behind LiuLi Cup, behind this event. Back-to-back tournaments, by the way. Master Coliseum into LiuLi Cup. And congratulations to MaxPax. Again, it is the era of Protoss. We've seen a lot of players switching to Protoss, at least, to avoid certain matchups. Players like Clem, players like Dark, players like Raynor, of course, and others alongside them. Oliveira, before the retirement. So, yeah, GG well played. MaxPax with his first win in a couple of years, right? Pigsty was back in 2023. It's been 2 years. It's been quite some time since that last big win. So congratulations. My condolences to Clem. Again, MaxPax and Clem, they do go back and forth when it comes to their matches. I would say the bigger result for MaxPax was defeating Serral. When was the last? I guess he did defeat him previously in Master Coliseum, but yeah, in recent times, MaxPax he's been getting better and better results, defeating players like Clem and Serral a little bit more consistently here, and looking to fight for that #1 Protoss spot. I say fight for the #1 Protoss spot because last week in Master Coliseum, Hero did outplace him. That is true. But what I do appreciate about both Hero and MaxPax is that they're very different stylistic players. So you get very different games out of them. You get very different games out of MaxPax and Hero. They both have their own strengths, their own weaknesses. And with that, MaxPax does claim the win. GG, well played. A bit of a shorter finals. I'll be honest here. I'm sorry, I'll correct this score out of game. But a bit of a shorter finals. I was expecting, like a game 5 or a game 6 at least. But much more one-sided here. Again, Clem, he was being punished for his own aggressive builds more often than not. Whether it came to the last game with the Proxy Marauder, or even before that with the Cyclone drop. If you remember, he went medevac into Cyclone drop on Frostline. Again, just these really aggressive starts out of Clem, punished time and time again from MaxPax. And with that, did snowball into a win. GG, well played. I hope we actually see him offline. That's not gonna. That's some copium, baby. That's some copium. I would not hold out hope for seeing MaxPax offline. But when it comes to these online events, this is where we can see him at his best, at his fullest. If you're curious about the next big event happening in StarCraft, January was very busy. January was very busy for us because of both Master Coliseum and because of LiuLi Cup as well. The next big confirmed event is Star Zagora. Star Zagora is happening. Is that in June? Hold on. When is Star Zagora 2025? Is it before June? Hold on. Yeah, June. Yeah. Oh god, how do we remember? But yeah, Stars Agora is going to be in June, so that's halfway through the year. So that is the next big LAN event that is officially confirmed. When it comes to other LANs, we spoke about this during the podcast this week. I Am Katowice is occurring, I think, next week. Like, I Am Katowice is coming up on us, and there is no StarCraft for the first time in, was it 12 or 13 years? For the first time in a very long time, there will not be StarCraft at I Am Katowice. We still do not have any word from ESL. I would imagine that there is some announcement coming. Otherwise, they just tell us that they just let us know that that like negotiations fell through with EWC. So I would imagine there is something coming. But it is very sad and very unfortunate that even if we do get a circuit, it is very much a shame that I Am Katowice is or was not a part of the circuit, because that's a pretty big deal. I Am Katowice, it's been a part of StarCraft for a very long time, since back in Heart of the Swarm, back I think in 2013. I want to say 2013 was the first time that StarCraft was at I Am Katowice. Maybe 2012 before that. If so, I'm unfamiliar, but it's been a long time. And yeah, for StarCraft not to be there, it's a pretty big blow. It's a pretty big blow here. And it is definitely a somber time, or really, I say somber time, just a really chaotic or just really tense time for a lot of StarCraft fans out there, because there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to what 2025 has to offer and what it has to hold, outside of Stars Agora. Again, I mean, I say Stars Agora. I guess the other one is Home Story Cup. True. Don't want to forget. The other one is Home Story Cup, which I believe I think it might be like pseudo confirmed for later on this year as well. Outside of those two events, we don't really have anything secure. So yeah, we just have to wait. Just have to. That's all we can do, really, is just hope and just wait to see what happens. We spoke during the podcast about how it almost feels like borderline disrespectful, like the trolling of the EWC social media account. For those that are curious, every time, like every like couple of weeks, they post like, hey, are we missing any esport at EWC? And like the social media gets flooded with people asking about SE2. And then there was that weird post that was back in December where they like the EWC Twitter like almost like made fun of it. They're like yo, you know, that feeling when SE2 fans, like when they spam you about EWC or something. Like they had like a really weird like post about that back in December, and everyone was like, what? Like what's going on, Pat? What's going on? So yeah, it's a really uncertain time right now when it comes to StarCraft 2. But you know all we can do is hope and do our best and do our part, right? Here on the CranKy Ducklings, like I mean, you've seen our schedule. We're live every single day, multiple times a day. We do what we can to bring you as much StarCraft as we can. We're doing our part, and I'm sure everyone else is doing their own part as well. I'm referring to the other community casters. You know, we're hosting our own tournaments. Likewise, you know, you have Wardy stepping up to host his events. We have TKL stepping up to host his events, the Monday weeklies. We have you know, players or people like Chicken Man and Dave Testa for KSL. We have Pig stepping up to help sponsor the Pigasaur weeklies. Yeah, there's still a lot when it comes to the online events of SE2. It's just the major premier events, which is a little bit less certain. Speaking of our schedule, bam! Here you go. This week we have our updated weekly schedule here. We just wrapped up with the LiuLi Cup, and the stream is going to go offline for a couple of minutes, and we're going to be back with the Firegrow Cup. Firegrow Cup, the playoffs, they began 40 minutes ago, so I'm going to keep this brief. Because they're currently playing. So we're going to wrap up. We're going to be live like in 10 minutes with Firegrow Cup. We're going to be jumping into the playoffs. Again, Firegrow Cup has been going on for the past couple of days, going through the group stage, Group A, Group B, and we have the playoffs in a couple. They're happening right now. They're happening right now. Likewise, you can see for the rest of the week as well, we have the OSC Season 12 Championship. True, that's another big online event. True, MaxPax is a part of the OSC Championship, so we're going to be covering, I'm sure, his matches there. That is going to be on Tuesday. We have the Pigasaur Monday, we have Wardy TV Monday, we have a Lima League, we have the Enki Pro Series, we have the Pondcast on Thursday, we have Amantes, we have KSL Replay Cast. I do apologize, but we did miss KSL on Saturday. I was just very, very, very fatigued, so I passed out and I could not cast KSL live. So we're going to be catching up with KSL on Thursday. We have the Kung Fu Cup Warcraft 3 mod for SE2. That's going to be on Friday. We have Code for Giants Cup, Master Swan Open, the return of Sparkling Tuna Cup. The first Sparkling Tuna Cup of the year of 2025 is coming back on Sunday, and we have SEL, that is StarCraft Evolution. A lot of people have been asking about StarCraft Evolution, and it has been on a break, it has been on hiatus. It is coming back as a monthly tournament, and it's coming back on Saturday as well. So as always, we have plenty of content for you as we wrap up January. Coming into February is going to be looking a little bit leaner. Right now, we're casting at least twice a day, every single day. As you can see, sometimes 3 times a day. So we cast more than anyone else out there in StarCraft. That's what we do. Do all the casting. We have all the content. Coming into February should be a little bit leaner, which I'm okay with. Like, I'll be honest, I'm getting a little bit worn out when it comes to the non-stop casting. I would like to sleep in a little bit and have a little bit of downtime. That should be happening in February. February should be a little bit leaner. And when I say leaner, what I mean is like 1 cast a day, which is still casting every day, but you know, like instead of 2 or 3, 1 cast a day sort of thing coming into February. That should be what we expect. So yeah, regardless, if you enjoyed the content, if you enjoyed the casting, do consider following us. Consider following us here on the social medias. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. So you can support us, you can follow us if you wish. You can also support us via Patreon as well. You can check us out there if you wish. You can support us. Our money, the money that we make on Patreon, it all goes towards our tournaments. It all goes towards events like Master Swan Open, which you can see there on Saturday. It goes towards Sparkling Tuna Cup, which you can see on Sunday, and towards Sea Duckling Open as well. It all gets funded towards the events, towards the players, towards the community, towards the scene, towards StarCraft. So if you want, you can support us there. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Again, we're going to be going, the stream is going to be going down for a couple of minutes. I do have to put a delay on. A delay is required for Fire Grow Cup, so there's going to be a delay. And I have to set up all the overlays, set up all the scenes, and then bam, we're going to be back with some Fire Grow Cup action. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. Ooh. Here we go. You're saying EWC community team is trolling SC2 fans? Yes, yes. I was referring to the tweet that they made on Twitter. It was crazy. It's like they want to trick the SC2 community to pay for all of SC2. I wouldn't take it that far. But I do appreciate the community and all the organizers, whether it's ourselves, whether it's, you know, Steadfast, your Wardy, your Pig, Chicken Man, Dave Tesla, everyone else for stepping up and, you know, for supporting StarCraft. The passion is there, the support is there, the people are there. Let's go. Otherwise, for now, we're going to be heading off. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. The stream is going to be going down for a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back up with Fire Grow Cup. So we'll see you guys soon for our next cast for some more StarCraft. Otherwise, thank you so much. See you next time. Hasta luego. Ciao, baby, ciao. Hasta luego.